is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Well, once again, the dump that Aleister Crowley lived in and performed some of the sickest satanic rituals imaginable. Somehow, this place has been sold once again. Somebody actually had interest in buying this dump. Take a look at it. Now, most of you might know Aleister Crowley lived in this house. He performed rituals with animals in this house. He practices sex magic in this house. Of course, everybody who is a fan of Aleister Crowley, which somehow there's fans of this demonic piece of garbage, think of him as, he was ahead of his time, huh? The guy says in his books, talks about ritual magic and using children for the strongest, form of magic. You can see the photo of him. He signs it, Baphomet, right? The OTO. Crowley, of course, is being featured prominently now on a new CBS show. Well, it's not new, season 2 of the show Strange Angel, which I've covered before, and of course, it's somehow one of the videos that was removed by YouTube. No idea how. Not sure what's offensive in it. Didn't know I couldn't critique a TV show that was glorifying satanic rituals and just flat-out Satanists and the occult, like L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons, and Aleister Crowley. But somehow, look at this place. I mean, this place burned down. And see, you know what I mean? Like, if this was anywhere else, I'd be like, oh, you just demolish it. But there's some power here, and there's some reasoning behind them having to have this home still standing after all these years, and somebody actually buying it. I mean, there's people who put their houses on the market and, can't sell it for 10 years, right? And somehow someone's like, oh, yes, I will invest in this. Sure, it has no roof, and it's just a wall. So obviously some Satanists are buying it. Just a former, and of course, Jimmy Page once owned this home. I wonder why. The satanic Jimmy Page. This Aleister Crowley that was largely destroyed by fire
and all that, and Stairway to Heaven
has been sold. The new owners of the house, which is near Loch Ness, will be hoping for a new peaceful chapter in the property surrounding with it. Understood the house is to become home to a charitable foundation and opened up to the public. Yeah, because that's what we need, right? Come take a tour. In this room, this is where Aleister Crowley performed this ritual. I mean, who is going to take... obviously, we know which people are going to be taking their kids there. But sick. It's sick that this is even going on. The place should have been torn down. Back when he was alive, everybody knew what he was and what he was doing. Now, because of social engineering and, the music industry and Hollywood, they've glorified this freak. It says those who have bought the property have not been named, but they plan to fully restore the house. It's going to take a lot of money. Where Crowley centered his black magic investigations. That's what they're calling them, investigations. After he bought it at age 25 in 1899. It was later bought by Led Zeppelin, the founder and guitarist Jimmy Page, in the 1970s, with the rock god owning the most notorious, just blasphemy, calling him a rock god. The most notorious home in the Highlands for around 20 years. A blaze in 2015 caused extensive damage to the house. As you can see from the photos, yet somehow people are just, we've got to fix it up. We've got to make it a charitable thing. Why don't you just throw your Freemasonry philanthropy nonsense into it so it can seem like a heroic gesture? Meanwhile, people are going to go there. They're going to be, I don't know who he is. Well, we'll tell you all about him. And they tell great stories about yoga and meditation, and they'll word it so the guy's a hero. It has long drawn those curious to the occult, but the new owners have urged people to stay away until the house is fully repaired and restored to a safe state, probably because they're performing rituals themselves. Paranormal investigators, Highland Paranormal, carried out a recent survey at the property, which did not pick up any supernatural activity. Highland Ghost said on its social media channel, following on from our investigation, we are delighted to have been contacted by the new owners of the property who have kindly shared their vision with us of restoring the property and grounds to their original state. while also creating a nonprofit charitable trust so that the public in general will be able to enjoy the house and grounds for I mean, enjoy the house? This is like saying, like, what? Just say like Michael Myers was real, right? And the whole thing was a real story. Like, people need to be going into the Michael Myers house, so we need to be going into Ted Bundy's house. We need to be going into Jeffrey Dahmer's house, right? I mean, the insanity, it's like going, well, here's a place where dozens of murders and all this stuff took place. Come on in, bring the kids. We'll tell you all about it. And we're going to restore it to its natural state so it looks just like it did. I mean, who are they kidding? And this is what they do. They just go, oh, stop it. Satanic rituals, that stuff's not real. We all heard of the Satanic Act. You're just crazy, frightened Christians making stuff up. Don't you know that Satanists are atheists who believe in the LGBT and feminism? Oh, and Planned Parenthood? Those are the things that they care about. They don't do these types of things, even though the Satanic Temple themselves on their YouTube channel, their members post rituals that they perform. That's how idiotic all of this is, that people actually buy into it. And then they go, we invoke Satan. Like, wait a minute, I thought you didn't believe. I mean, and people just believe it, right? Because people are just like, oh, who cares? Let them do what they want. So meanwhile, the owners have asked that due to the current dangerous state of the house, that the public in general stays away from the building and grounds until construction has been completed. Right? I wonder what's going to be performed there. It's not funny, but I mean, it's just, that stuff's going on. Why do they have to have this house? Because this guy did these things at this specific spot, right? Right outside of Loch Ness. They just have to have it. I mean, the thing's been burned down. It's been toasted. Look at it. But no, it's got to be restored. Wonder why. I wonder what type of sick spiritual energy is sitting there. And how these people want to recreate the things that Crowley did. The opening of, lifting of veils and opening of, who knows, other dimensions. Just the sick stuff involving kids. It says, when Crowley bought the house at age 25 in 1899, after looking for the right location to carry out a series of rituals from the Book of Abramelin. It was a text central to Crowley's new religion, Thelema, which he believed would help him make contact with his holy guardian angel. You mean Satan? He reportedly required a house in a more or less secluded situation with a door that opened to the north from where the oratory could be delivered. From there, Crowley planned to banish the demons once they had been summoned to a terrace. So he summoned demons, then he banned demons. I mean, what is positive about this? Who wants to live here other than occultists? Making it into a museum. And making it into a place where people can bring their families. Oh my goodness. Thought I'd seen it all. This is just... it says one employee at the estate. Okay, this is one person who worked at Crowley's estate there. To kill his wife and children, it was claimed in Crowley's diary. His lodgekeeper Hugh suddenly lost his 2 children in sudden, unexplained circumstances. So that's just normally what happens, right? 2 of your kids just suddenly die, and you just go, I don't know, unexplained circumstances. I woke up and they were eating. And, people were performing chanting stuff and drinking blood. Oh, did they just, happen to wake up and have a waffle and just die unexpectedly on the floor? Both of them? Not just one, both? Yeah, and this is the type of place we need rebuilt, refurnished. The housemaid is said to have gone mad with a local butcher cutting off his hand while dealing with Crowley's order at the house, and more positive things, right? Another reason to refurbish this and make it a place open to the public, because these are just wonderful stories that have had here. Someone's had his hand cut off, no big deal. In 1960, I mean, wonder how like liberals and stuff would feel, you know what I mean? Oh, 1960, someone's had their hand cut off. You can't even like speak these days. In 1960, the new owner of the property killed himself with a shotgun in the bedroom that had been used by Crowley for many of his satanic rituals. Oh, that's interesting too. Another reason, right? We should refurbish. I mean, if the guy left a shotgun, Aleister Crowley left a shotgun, which isn't that illegal, in the house, and they even say, well, Crowley used that shotgun for his rituals. Well, what did he use it for? A butt plug? Was he picking his nose at the end of the rifle? Oh, he couldn't have been using it to kill animals and people and do rituals on them, right? What the hell was he using this shotgun for then? Brushing his teeth? Yeah, there's no signs here that he's a murderer or anything. Holy crap. This is worse than the mine. This is like Elm Street. Freaking crazy. While unconfirmed tales about the past kept re-energizing themselves, the property has enjoyed a quieter period with a Dutch family using it as a holiday home. That's what it recently was used for. What a wonderful way to spend the holidays, folks. Come on over to the Crowley home. Here's the room where a guy shot himself and his family. Over here in the kitchen area, some guy killed himself, and then his 2 kids died unexpectedly. No cause of death, because clearly the police aren't in existence, apparently, in 1960 or whatever year it was. Oh, of course they are. But no cause of death. Nothing strange going on here. Nothing to see. In this room, we had a guy get his hand cut off. And this is the room most of the satanic murders actually occurred. So all that stuff just happened outside of the ritual rooms. Right? And most of the rooms, keep in mind, don't have windows. They're darkened, because that's like one of the things, like, that apparently they do. You have to like be in darkened space for a certain amount of time. So they sold the house, the last owners who were living there, for their holiday home, and reportedly devastated that their home was destroyed. Well, let's consider it an act of God. But if I say anything on here and say hopefully it gets destroyed again, I'm a criminal. So let's just see if we'll see how this works out. But maybe they'll tell these tales in there. Are they gonna like just dress it up like a haunted hayride and be like, come on in, it's Halloween, let's get spooky? Ooh, right? Sounds more like they're making it like a shrine to him. And, he taught so many wonderful things. Oh yeah, the satanic rituals, but it was just like yoga-ish stuff. And don't worry about the guy that blew his brains out with the shotgun that Aleister Crowley used during his ceremonies. Meanwhile, he's on CBS right now being glorified. What a joke of a world we live in. Give me an absolute break, please. And thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.